Hi, everybody, and welcome to this Festive Tech Calendar event for 2022.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this Festive Tech Calendar event for...
I have to mute my other speakers here. So, all right, we're all good to go now. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to Festive Tech Calendar 2022 and this Ask Me Anything session about multi-cloud MDR with Defender for Cloud and Microsoft Sentinel. Really excited to be a part of this event again this year. I believe this is third, maybe fourth year doing this, and really what started me in the cloud community. So I want to thank Richard and Gregor for putting this together every year, coordinating it, making this so inclusive. I've seen it grow. There's multiple sessions per day now, and it inspired me to do my Azure back to school. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this this Ask Me Anything session, as well as all of the other sessions. And make sure that you go to the Festive Tech Calendar site, and I'll share this here. This is the speaker page, but if you go to the home, they are also taking donations for a great cause, as they have been doing the last couple of years. So that's really great to do. So with that being said, please, if you're attending the live event, I am looking at the LinkedIn as well as the YouTube comments. Please comment or in YouTube, put in the chat for the LinkedIn, for the YouTube session, and for LinkedIn, put a comment in with any questions that you may have as well. We will go from there and have hopefully some interactive questions that we can do. So let's kick this off. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Dwayne Natwick. I am a MVP. I am also for Microsoft. I'm also an AWS community builder for security and identity. I author. I have multiple certifications. I train. I am actually in the process of releasing my third book on the Microsoft Cybersecurity Architect exam. So very excited about that. Also am a Microsoft certified trainer and a ISC squared authorized trainer. My day job is a global principal cloud security lead for Atos, of which I also host a podcast, Head Securely in the Clouds, for my company. So that's a little bit about me. I'm active on social media. Feel free to reach out and read my blog, connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me on Twitter. Also have moved and have a profile on Mastodon as well, using the same handle as I do on Twitter. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about getting multi-cloud security to work together, and being that this is the Christmas season, and hopefully many of you are familiar with the claymation Christmas specials that they're very popular this time of year in the United States. Hopefully I'm not losing the group, anybody beyond the United States, and they understand the year without Santa Claus. Santa Claus had a bit of a cold and didn't feel like delivering presents, felt that the Christmas spirit was fading, and a couple of the elves and took matters into their own hands and got themselves a little wrapped up with a couple of not so friendly beings, Heat Miser and Cold Miser, who are the children of Mother Nature. So in our little play here today, I've put Azure in the Mother Nature role, being that Azure is kind of the coordination between this multi-cloud security posture that we're talking about, and we need to bring together AWS as Heat Miser and Google Cloud Platform as the Cold Miser. So we want to find out, and we want to bring them together and get them working together. So how are we going to do that? And we're going to look at the capabilities within Microsoft and what Microsoft has built on their Microsoft Defender for Cloud platform and their Microsoft Sentinel platforms to provide cloud native tools and multi-cloud and multi-vendor support for cloud security posture management, for cloud workload protection platforms, as well as with Microsoft Sentinel, the SIM and SOAR capabilities. From an Azure perspective, we have native protection with cloud security posture for posture management. We have Defender for servers, Defender for app services, databases, storage, containers, Key Vault, DNS, all of these different platform-based services that we need security for within our Azure and Microsoft 365 environments, all tie into our Azure environment through Microsoft Defender for Cloud and Microsoft Sentinel. So what about if we have a multi-cloud or a hybrid environment? And we're talking more about multi-cloud today rather than hybrid, but we do have hybrid capabilities with utilizing things like Azure Arc as part of our bringing in our non-Azure servers and containers and compute and storage into Microsoft Defender for Cloud, into Microsoft Sentinel. But what do we do about bringing together, and I've got my pictures wrong here with the Heat Miser and Cold Miser, but what do we do to bring together AWS and GCP? These brothers don't play nicely together. They're competitors in co-opetition with Microsoft, but we need to bring them together. We need to we have servers and we have databases, we have containers, we might have storage accounts within our AWS and within our GCP for development reasons, maybe for specific capabilities that we need to use. Maybe we're developing certain applications on AWS or on Google. What are we going to do to bring those in and manage that security posture across all three of these areas? And Mother Nature is here to play the peacekeeper and bring everybody together and hopefully save Christmas. So around that, what can we do, and what does the multi-cloud portion of Microsoft Defender provide? It provides an agentless and as well as agent-based vulnerability scanning. So we want to protect and preserve our environments, and we want to integrate data and insights across not just Azure, but across all of our cloud platforms. We want to provide contextual cloud security and prioritize risk across every piece. Maybe we need to do compliance and provide compliance across all of those. We want to integrate workflows and remediate at scale. So all of this and is provided and capable with Microsoft Defender for Cloud as well as Microsoft Sentinel. So those are all things to take into account. The cloud security posture is a big piece to this, and as well as the workload protections within Microsoft Defender. So taking and looking at all of these is very important. I'm looking at at our comments here, and feel free to provide comments and bring and ask your questions in the platform. And what I'm going to do here real quick, just as we kind of think about what we might want to do, is I'm going to bring up my environment here. I think this is wrong one. There we go. Well, my session expired. Give me a minute here to log in. Please, anybody that has any questions, I'm here to answer them. Give me a comment in whether you're in the LinkedIn stream or within the stream for YouTube. I will be available to answer. I will answer your questions as I go through and show some of these capabilities as well. So let's look here at Microsoft Sentinel to start with. And I have my Sentinel environment here. I have one data connector in here. Let me make my screen a little bit bigger here for everybody to see. And let's hide the link here so everybody can see my screen and zoom in a little bit as well. So we have our data connectors in Microsoft Sentinel, and you can find Amazon Web Services here. We have an open connector page, and we can very easily stream our CloudTrail into Microsoft Sentinel with our connections here. We have our Microsoft account, and we just need to create a role within AWS and put that to read CloudTrail, and we bring that into here. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not logged into my AWS account, but very easy to then start bringing CloudTrail information into Microsoft Sentinel, and then we can run our hunting analytics and our Custo queries against those CloudTrail logs. We can do that on many other third-party services in here as well. I'm going to duplicate this tab here and just stay in Sentinel with that, but I'm going to backtrack back to home. And go to Defender for Cloud. So if we go into Defender for Cloud, it's like, okay, how do I go about connecting my my AWS and my GCP environments in here? And you can see I already do have an AWS account within here. It's in my environment settings, and you can see I have some of the standards set up within here for AWS utilizing the SIS 1.2. I have the foundational best practices in here. If I go up here to add environment, you can see we can add another AWS account. We can add our Google Cloud Platform account. I do not have one of those right now. And then with the information that was introduced at Ignite this year, we can also connect to our GitHub account as well as Azure DevOps for Microsoft Defender for DevOps. If I go to Google Cloud Platform here, like I said, I don't have an account, but we can select a resource group here. And then if we provide our organizational ID, and then we can provide different project numbers within our Google Cloud Platform to feed logs into our environment for Google Cloud Platform. It's not going to let me go any further without any of the information. You can go. There is a very nice Learn document that steps you through the process as well. If I go back here, let's cancel here. Go to environment settings again. If I go to AWS, again, very easy to connect. You need your account ID. You can exclude certain accounts if you only want a specific account that's feeding in. Maybe you don't want to bring your developer account. If you're just doing a production account and want to do security posture on that, you can certainly do that as well. And then you again, select your plans. If I go back here and go into my root account here that's already set up, you can see the Defender plans that are in here. Very similar pricing model as with
I found this on the web.
As with a Defender plan, where we have free. We have the free preview of Defender Cloud Security Posture Management, which is new here, and we can get the details here of doing some attack path analysis. We can do agentless vulnerability scanning. So a lot of great stuff that we can do with Microsoft Defender for our AWS account. We got a plan for servers. We can select a plan tier here to send Microsoft Defender for servers over to our AWS accounts and you can see here, for $15 a server, which is the same as we get for Defender for servers on native Azure servers, we can set that up. Or we've got a lower tier here where we can get Defender for endpoint. We've got Defender vulnerability management and agent onboarding, alerting, and data ingestion, data integrity. You can see very similar to the really what we're getting here to a degree is we're getting that Defender for endpoint for $5 a month is really what we're getting. To get those the full Defender plans, we want to go with the tier 2. I'm going to cancel out of here. Databases, again, $15 per server for databases. Again, does very similar solution to our Defender for databases, Defender for SQL in our Azure environment. We can set up standards in here. Again, like I said, you saw, I've got the SIS 1.2.0 and the security foundations within there. I can also put the security benchmark, have the security benchmark as part of my AWS security posture management. So we are bringing things together. Mother Nature's getting Heat Miser working together here. Like I said, I don't have anything for Cold Miser here with GCP because I don't have that account, but very similar services. If we go back to what I was showing here, we've got servers, containers, and we've got SQL, which same as databases within AWS. So we've got a lot of capabilities, a lot that we can do here within the environment. Let me go back to Defender here, back to my environment. And if I go here and drill down a little bit into my subscription for Microsoft Defender for Cloud for my Azure environment, you see my Defender plans here. Again, we have our plan 2 and plan 1. This has recently changed. This is as they brought Endpoint Manager into Microsoft Defender for servers. That's why we have the multiple plans now. And you can see I've got partial right now with 6 servers. Got a lot more, obviously, right now within the Azure environment of what we can support and what we can protect. You notice that there was no storage account. There wasn't S3 buckets within Microsoft Defender for Cloud. But if we want to work and protect our AWS S3 buckets, we do have in preview the ability to bring in collected information in terms of VPC flow logs, AWS Guard Duty, and AWS CloudTrail into our Azure Sentinel environment, or Microsoft Sentinel environment. My apologies, using the old terminology there that snuck out on me. So keeping that all in line, and then as we have those capabilities, have these accounts, then we can start to bring in the security posture. Problem is, I don't have anything right now in my AWS account that's really running, that's really feeding any CloudTrail information in. So in security posture, I'm really just pulling my Azure in right now, but my AWS account is connected. When I start putting EC2 instances or containers in my AWS environment, that's going to start feeding information in and showing those healthy and unhealthy resources for me to manage my security posture, just like it's doing for my Azure environment. So those are all capabilities and pieces that protect our environment as we want to build that multi-cloud aggregation within our Microsoft estate. So those are all things that we can do. And again, happy to take any questions if you're on the live stream. And something that just to kind of give a question out there. One of the things would be, how how can we, how does this really relate, in terms of what we want to do in terms of our workload protection or even our regulatory compliance. And as I said, if we mark and assess our AWS environment to, say, the Microsoft Security Benchmark, and bring that into here, or even NIST 800-53, with those connected accounts, we can evaluate all of those environments, all of those really the EC2 instances, the relational databases can all come into our Microsoft Defender for Cloud environment, and we can audit all of those for compliance to review and to bring together the capabilities of Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and the reports that we can generate within Microsoft Defender for Cloud for Azure, for AWS, for GCP, and even bringing in Azure Arc and bringing in those on-premises servers into our environment, all become a way now to do a full multi-cloud review for our regulatory compliance and for our audits. So those are all capabilities in here that we can leverage, and we can take advantage of on one simple platform. And if you take a look at some of those costs out there, just from a security posture management standpoint, those of you worried about cost and say, hey, how much is this going to cost me extra? You're going to have, obviously, your storage of your logs in CloudTrail. Bringing those logs into Azure is not going to cost you anything, because we're not charged for ingress charges to bring anything into Defender for Cloud. So only the any network traffic charges within AWS to ingest those logs into the environment for Defender for Cloud. Security posture management is a free tier. It's part of that free tier, just like when you turn on your Azure tenant on, you get the security posture management with Microsoft Security Benchmark built into the policies within your Azure environment. So, and same goes with your AWS and your GCP environment. It ties that all together. And that is part of the free tier right now. Then you start building those Defender plans. And then you've got to understand then the cost of each of the servers, of the databases, of your storage accounts on Azure, and what you're doing then across that. You also are then increasing the number of logs, the amount of information that you're ingesting in the AWS environment, in CloudTrail and GCP, and in their logging environment as well. So those all are pieces that you have to understand. You have to analyze the total cost of ownership for the Defender plans. If you're a highly regulated industry, you might want to bring all those accounts in here to do levels of regulatory compliance. Sentinel, what is the cost of Sentinel? There is going to be a cost, and almost a duplicated cost to a certain degree when you start connecting some of those accounts, based on storage of logs in CloudTrail and bringing those logs into the log analytics workspace. All of that logging and those charges all go into the calculation of how much data you're ingesting on a daily basis as well. So keep that in mind, and understand the cost of ingesting data into Microsoft Sentinel. Also, it's not, if you have a very large estate, it's going to, there's going to be a cost to it. But you have a tiered capability. They've actually increase this tier. I don't think it went up to 5 terabytes before. They now giving a discount at 5 terabytes per day. So if you're ingesting a large amount of data, make sure you're changing your settings for your proper tier. So those are all things to take into account. But you get the flexibility then of being able to run your different analytics tools and analytics queries and all of the AI and machine learning that you get on your Microsoft estate. You can run that against your AWS and GCP, bringing together the family, bringing together all of that, all of your cloud ecosystem, and the heat miser and cold miser are working together with Mother Nature to support and to provide you with the proper security posture, the proper workload protections of your digital environment, of all of your compute, storage, and networking can all work together within here. So still looking for any questions, and not seeing any questions. Thank you, Big Bald Azure Guy, for your comment. Thank you very much for enjoying the stream. Hopefully I've provided everybody with some good information here today, and I'll stay on for a couple more minutes if anybody has any last minute questions, anything that I didn't cover, but otherwise, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Happy Christmas, and a wonderful and safe New Year. And again, I want to thank the team from the Festive Tech Calendar, Gregor and Richard, primarily for putting this together every year. This really wraps up, I think, my community contributions for the year, every year. So I want to thank them for everything that they do for the community. They are truly Microsoft MVPs, and I want to thank everybody for that. Thanks everybody for attending now, as well as this will be available on my Captain Hyperscaler YouTube channel. So if anybody that's watching this later on, hopefully you gain some information out of it, and want to learn more about multi-cloud security with Microsoft Defender for Cloud and Microsoft Sentinel. Feel free again to reach out to me. I will bring up that slide again with my social media, and feel free to reach out at any time. I'm more than happy to provide information if need be. So thanks everybody for your time today, and again, enjoy the rest of the Festive Tech Calendar event. I'll put the link up here again for everybody to go to, and certainly look at the schedule. Multiple speakers every day, so definitely tune in. I believe there's 2 other speakers being recorded here today as well. So there's 3 to even, I think, sometimes up to 5 events each day with Festive Tech Calendar throughout the month. And so enjoy, and have a happy holidays, and until next time, have a great day.